Hour richer. If I could work my will, every imbecile who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew, you keep Christmas in your own way and I'll let it keep it in mine.
Keep it? But you don't keep it, Uncle.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good it may do you. Much good it's ever done you.
There are many things from which I have derived good but not profited, Christmas among them. And I have always thought of Christmas as a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time I know of in the year when men and women open their hearts freely and think of people below them as fellow passengers to the grave. And though it has never put gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and I say God bless it.
God bless it indeed.
Let me hear another sound from you, Bob Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. And as for you, nephew, you're such a powerful speaker, I wonder if you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come dine with us tomorrow.
No.
But why?
But why did you marry against my wishes?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love? Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry with all my heart to find you so stubborn, but I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, a Merry Christmas to you, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
A Merry Christmas to you and your family, Bob.
The same to you, Fred.
It's another fellow, my clerk, with 15 shillings a week, a wife and family, talking about a Merry Christmas. Blah, I retired to Bedlam.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead 7 years ago tonight. You have the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge.
Well, now, Mr. Scrooge, at this festive season of the year, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common comforts, necessities, and hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are still. I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and Paula in full vigor then?
Both very busy, sir.
Very glad to hear it.
As a scarcely furnished Christian cheer of mind or body, few of us are endeavoring to raise the poor, to get some meat and drink. It means warmth. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, you wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I've mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they'd rather die, then they better do it and increase the surplus population. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon.
Well...
Show this woman to the door, Cratchit.
Yes, sir. This way, please. It would please me greatly if I might contribute tuppence to your charity.
Cratchit!
Coming, Mr. Scrooge.
You are a most generous soul, sir, which is more than I can say for your employer.
Cratchit!
Coming. Merry Christmas to you.
And to you, sir.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay.
What in heavens now?
Let me see about it.
Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day
Humbug, off with you, boy. Go and haunt someone else.
to save us from Satan's power when we were gone astray.
Mr. Scrooge, sir.
What is it, Cratchit?
It's near closing time, sir, and I wanted to ask.
You wanted to ask about taking all day tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient and it's not fair.
It is only once a year.
A poor excuse would pick a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning.
I will, sir. You can count on me.
Good day.
And to you, sir, a Merry Christmas.
Humbug!
And with that, the office was closed in a twinkling.
Bob Cratchit went down a slide on Cornhill 20 times in honor of its being Christmas Eve, and then ran home to Camden Town as hard as he could pelt to play with his family at Blind Man's Buff.
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's book, went home to bed.
Scrooge's chambers had once belonged to his deceased partner Marley. There were gloomy suite of rooms where nobody lived but Scrooge.
There was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door. Scrooge had seen it there each and every day.
But when Scrooge put his key in the lock of the door, he saw on the knocker Marley's face, Its livid color made it horrible.
As Scrooge looked at this phenomenon, it became a knocker again. Startled, he walked in and closed the door with a bang.
He sat before the fire to take his gruel.
Then came a clanking noise from deep down below, as if some person were dragging a heavy chain. And then the noise became louder, Then, without pause, through the door came the ghost of a man, covered in long chains wound about him, a chain of cash boxes, keys, padlocks, ledgers, and heavy personal wallets.
How now? What do you want with me? Who are you? Who are you then? A particular to a shade? Papa. I do not.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There's more gravy than grave about you, whatever you are. Mercy, dreadful apparition. Why do you trouble me?
Man of worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do, I must. But why do spirits walk the earth? Why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad, his fellow men to travel far and wide. And if that spirit go not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world and witness what it cannot share. The might of spirit on earth and turn to happiness.
Why have you had a change, Jacob?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. Would you know the weight and the length, the strong coil you bear yourself? It is as heavy and as long as the 7 Christmas Eves ago you have labored on its head.
Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing, full and weary journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob. 7 years dead and traveling all the time. You might have got over a great quantity of ground in 7 years.
Oh, captive bound in double iron. Not to know the space of regret can make a man throw one's life opportunity misused.
You're always a good man of business, Jacob.
Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. At this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Hear me. My time is nearly gone.
I will, but don't be hard upon me. Don't be flowery, Jacob. Pray.
I'm here tonight to warn you. You have yet a chance of a hope of escaping my fate, Ebenezer.
You are always a good friend to me. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance of hope you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once? Have it over with, Jacob.
Look to see me no more, and look that for your own sake you remembered what has passed between us.
Jacob. Jacob!
When Scrooge awoke, he found himself face to face with a strange figure, with the stature of a child and face with not a wrinkle, yet with hair white as if with great age.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What business brings you here?
Your welfare.
I am much obliged, but a night of unbroken rest would have been more conductive to that end.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed, rise and walk with me.
Oh, no, not out the window. I'm not a spirit, but a mortal liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand upon your heart, and you shall be happy.
Where are we, spirit? Where are you taking me? Oh, good heaven, I do. I was a schoolboy here. That was my schoolhouse.
Your lip is trembling, and what is that on your cheek?
It is but a pimple. Lead me where you will.
Do you recollect your way to school?
Remember it, I could walk it blindfolded.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years. Let us go on. The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child neglected by his friends is left there still.
Yes, I know that poor boy. I was so lonely. I wish... It's too late now.
What is the matter?
Nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should have given him something, that's all.
Ebenezer!
It's my sister Fan. Dear Fan.
I've come to bring you home, dear brother.
Home, little fan?
Yes, home, for good and forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. That's home, like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one night when I was going to bed that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home. And he said, yes, you should, and sent me in a coach to bring you. And we're to be all together and have the merriest Christmas in all the world.
You are quite a woman, little fan.
Come with me, dear brother.
Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
So she had, you're right, I'll not gainsay it, spirit, God forbid.
She died a woman, and had, as I think, children.
One child.
True, your nephew.
Yes, Fred.
Yo, my boys, no more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have the shutters up before I can say Jack Robinson. Hilly-ho, here are my lads, and let's have lots of room here.
Hilly-ho, Dick. Cheer up, Ebenezer. Merry Christmas, one and all. Dance and be lively now.
And Mrs. Fezziwig herself. Never will I forget her smile.
Oh, my dear, you have done yourself with a spread fit for a king himself. May I have this dance, my pet?
Why, you may have each and every dance, my dear.
Look there. It's Belle. Sweet Belle, so beautiful.
Ebenezer, dance with me.
And how we could dance.
Was she your love?
My one, my only.
When was the last time you danced, Ebenezer?
It has been years in the least. So long ago I can hardly remember. But I wouldn't give to join them right now.
A small matter to make these silly folk so full of gratitude.
Small?
Why, is it not? He has spent but a few pounds. Is that enough to deserve such praise?
It isn't that, Spirit. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing in particular.
Something, I think.
No. I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now. That's all.
Ebenezer, dance with me.
Can't you see I'm busy?
No, Spirit, spare me this.
There are tears in her eyes.
I matter little to you, very little. Another idol has replaced me.
What idol has replaced you?
A golden one. There is nothing which gives you such passion as money.
Dear Belle, that's not fair.
I'm afraid it is. When we were engaged, we were both poor.
Was it better then? Was it better to be poor?
Better at least to be happy. You're changed. You're another man then.
I was a boy. You blame me because I've grown wiser? Have I ever tried to break our engagement?
In words? No, never.
Well, in what then?
In a change in nature, in an altered spirit, in everything that made my love of any value in your sight. So, I release you from your promise.
Oh, Belle.
Oh, at first it may cause you pain to lose me. A very brief pain, but soon it will be dim, like a half-remembered dream, an unprofitable dream, and you will be glad to be awake from such a dream. May you be happy in the life you have chosen, Ebenezer.
Belle, don't go.
Ebenezer, where's your bell going?
Oh, Mrs. Fezziwig, I fear she's fallen out of love with me.
Why not go to her?
I'm unsure I have the power to change, to be the man that she wants me to be.
Time flies, my boy, and we must hold on to those we love.
I fear it may be too late for that.
My dear, it is never too late. Perhaps she's returned to the party. Let us go see.
No, but thank you. I have my accounts to return to.
Suit yourself, dear. I wish you
Spirit, why do you like to torture me? Tell me, Spirit, what are the name of my family? Try to follow me. Spirit, please show me.
This afternoon.
Who was it?
Guess.
How can I?
Try.
I don't know. Mr. Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge it was. I passed his office window. It wasn't shuttered, and there was a candle inside, so I could scarcely help seeing him. His partner lies upon the point of death, I hear, and there he sat alone, quite alone in the world, I do believe.
Spirit, remove me from this place.
I told you, these were shadows of the things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Remove me, I cannot bear it. Leave me, take me back, haunt me no longer.
The WMHS Playhouse of the Year production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol will return after word from our sponsor.
For sensible and satisfying gifts, there's nothing more appropriate than fine food. And for both gift-giving and your Yule dinner, there's nothing more delicious than Old London Extra Fancy Fruitcake.
That's right, Sally. There's simply no rival to this magical concoction. Crammed full of fruits and nuts, providing rich, delicious eating for everyone and making it America's most wanted Christmas gift.
Luscious, tender, and bursting with juicy goodness, Old London Extra Fancy Fruitcakes are a boon to fruitcake lovers. What's more, they're available in gaily wrapped 5-pound and 10-pound gift cartons.
They're just the thing when unexpected guests arrive and make wonderful gifts, too. Ideal for your business associates, family, friends, neighbors, shut-ins, and those in the armed forces of the United States.
And they're perfect for filling stockings and for your holiday buffet boards, too. So, as a grand finale to your Christmas feast, why not treat the family to the most appetizing fruitcake ever discovered?
And why not have the joy of this festive holiday season continue long into the new year? Well, it can when you send a hair-raising parade of fruitcake year-round with the Old London Extra Fancy Fruitcake of the Month Club.
And the fun starts off with the deluxe 20-pound fruitcake basket for Christmas morning. Then, the enchanting spectacle continues, month after month after month, providing thrills and surprises for everyone.
Each superb delivery will make eyes pop in anew, mouths water, and hearts quiver with joy. Your unforgettable gift will be sure to delight, keeping family and friends happily reminded of you all throughout the year. The Old London Extra Fancy Fruitcake of the Month Club is one of the USA's largest shippers of extra fancy fruitcake with over 25 million please givers since 1919. Why not join them?
When you want to do your duty, slip your honey something fruity. You'll get sugar from your cutie. Buy Old London Extra Fancy Fruitcake. Rum-soaked cherries wet her whistle. Whiskey peaches prime her kiss it'll make you lucky under the mistle. Buy Old London Extra Fancy Fruitcake.
And now, we return to the WMHS Playhouse of the Year's production of Charles Dickens' immortal classic, A Christmas Carol, starring Freddie Fillmore and Sally Applewhite.
When the clock struck 2, just like the time, the second snake did not they wanted to know as the
That became aware of a great blaze of light from the tunnel. He got up and shuffled to the door. It was his own city, who had undergone some rising changes.
The walls and ceiling were hung with living green ebony berries. Heaped up on the floor to form a kind of throne were turkeys, geese, game, suckling pigs, long wreaths of sausages, pies, puddings, barrels of oysters, and bowls of punch.
Upon this throne sat a child with a glowing torch in the shade of his which he held to shed its light on Scrooge as he came leaning
Come in, Ebenezer. You know me better now.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the like of me before.
Never. You're different from the other spirits. You're tall, almost a giant. And that great torch you carry.
Its light pours into the homes of rich and poor alike.
Spirit, take me where you will. Last time I went against my will and I learnt a lesson which is working now. If you have anything to teach me, let me profit from it.
Touch my robe and we are off.
Where have you brought me, Spirit?
To a humble dwelling on a humble street.
It's humble enough.
Yet there's happiness there.
Who are these people, Spirit? The woman, the children.
They are the family of your clerk, Bob Cratchit. His wife lays the table for their Christmas dinner, and there assisting her is her son, Master Peter Cratchit.
Oh, I see.
I take it you have never before laid eyes on them.
I have not.
Listen to what they say, Ebenezer.
Whatever's got your precious father then? And your brother, Tiny Tim, and Martha weren't late last Christmas Day by half an hour.
Here's Martha, Mother.
Hurrah, there's such a goose, Martha.
Why, bless your heart alive, my dear Martha, how late you are.
We had a deal of work to finish up last night and had to clear away this morning.
Well, never mind so long you are here. Sit down before the fire, my dear.
Where's Father?
Father's to church with Tiny Tim.
They'll be along.
How's dear Tim, Mother? Is he any better?
Some days I think he is, but others I am not at all too sure.
You mustn't think but the best, dear Mother.
We do what we must to keep our spirits high.
Father's home.
And Tiny Tim, too.
Here they are.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Martha, dear, we are so glad to have you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Martha. And how did little Tim behave in church, Bob?
As good as gold and better.
I hope that people saw me there.
Why do you say that, Tim?
Because I'm a cripple, and if they saw my crutch, it might be pleasant to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Bless you, my son.
Is it time for Christmas dinner, Mother?
Let us eat.
All right, now, everyone to the table.
And such a goose. I do not believe there's ever been such a tender and flavorful goose cooked in all the days of the world.
And oh, what a wonderful pudding.
Bob, will you say the grace?
Yes, of course, dear.
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the corner and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved.
Oh, no, kind Spirit, say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Amen.
Amen.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
God bless us, everyone.
And now, dear family, a toast to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a good piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I am sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink his health for your sake and for the day's, not for his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
God bless him, Mother, and everyone.
Merry Christmas.
God bless him.
We have but one more stop, Ebenezer. We fly.
This is the house of my nephew Fred.
Your dear sister's only son. She died while giving him birth.
He took her from me, Spirit.
And you have always held that against him, have you not?
Well, Spirit, it's not so simple. Why have you brought me here?
Listen and see, Ebenezer.
He said that Christmas was a humbug. He believed it too.
Oh, more shame for him, Fred.
They talk of me.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth. Not as pleasant as he might be, but his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
Oh, I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
What of that, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him, for he does no good with it. I assure you, he has no such plan to benefit us with it.
Laugh as you will, but I have no patience with him.
Oh, I have.
Why ever so?
I am sorry for him. I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. Here, he won't accept our invitation to come and dine with us. What's the consequence? He loses a dinner.
Indeed, he loses a very good dinner.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it, because I haven't great faith in these young housekeepers. What do you say, Topper?
A bachelor is a wretched outcast who has no right to express an opinion on the subject.
Oh, now, Topper.
Do go on, Fred. Finish what you began to say.
I was going to say that the consequence of his not making merry with us is that perhaps he loses some pleasant moments. I give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not, for I pity him. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he will find me going there year after year to share my good tidings. If it only puts him in the vein to leave his poor clerk £50.
Now, Fred, I think we've had heard quite enough of the poor old devil. How about a lighter mood? A parlor game, perhaps?
Okay, let's see. Let's play yes and no.
Yes.
How do we play it?
It's quite simple. I shall think of something, and the rest of you must find out what. You may ask me questions, but I will answer you with either yes or no.
All right. Have you thought of something, Fred?
I have.
Is that an animal?
Yes.
Does it growl and grunt?
Oh, yes.
Does it walk the streets of London?
Yes.
Does it live in a menagerie?
No.
Is it a hippopotamus?
No.
Is it a donkey?
No.
Oh, a bear.
No.
I have found it out. I know what it is, Fred. I know what it is.
What is it?
It's your Uncle Scrooge.
Yes.
But Fred, I asked if it was a bear, and you should have said yes, as indeed he is.
Okay. He has given us plenty of merriment, I'm sure. And it would be ungrateful not to drink his health. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man. Whatever he is, he wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge, yay.
Thank you, nephew.
Hark, the hour has come.
Oh, no, not yet. There's still more things I wish to learn.
These you will learn from still another spirit, Ebenezer.
The WMHS Playhouse of the Air production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol will return after word from our sponsor.
I love shopping at Phipps.
What a treasure and trove, and such savings too.
Look, there's Santa Claus.
Welcome to Phipps Department Store, ladies and gentlemen. Step right up to see the one and only Santa Claus himself.
Ho, ho, ho. Hello there, little lady.
Hiya, Santa Claus.
And what would you like for Christmas?
I'd like a Lady Fanny Happy Top baby doll, the doll with a soul. Why, she's dressed in fine organic baby clothes, trimmed with lace, ribbon, and undies to match. And if that ain't enough, her sweet little head and arms are virtually unbreakable.
And doesn't the Lady Fanny Happy Top baby doll, the doll with a soul, cry real tears too?
I'll say she does, just like the tears of joy that'll be streaming down the face of every little girl and boy who finds a Lady Fanny Happy Top baby doll under their very own Christmas tree.
Well, why don't you be a good little girl and take your mommy and daddy on an elevator ride to Phipps' fourth floor in Toy Town, where they can find a wide selection of Lady Fanny Happy Top baby dolls, the doll with a soul on sale. And at only $4.95, you won't find a better price anywhere in town. Ho, ho, ho.
Right this way, little fellow. It's your turn to tell Santa Claus what you'd like for Christmas.
See, Santa Claus, how's tricks? How's tricks?
Swell, Squirt. And what would you like to find under your family's tree on Christmas morning?
I like your large screen RCA Victor television set. Why, it's a miracle of modern entertainment. A front row seat at plays, movies, news, and sports events. This gift will be cherished long.
Well now, a large screen RCA Victor television set may seem a rather extravagant gift for a little boy, but you could tell your mommy and daddy that only set them back about $5 a week when they use Phipps' Easy Payment Plan.
Say, even I can afford $5 a week with the money from my paper route and doing odd jobs for the neighbors.
And if a little boy can afford a mere $5 a week, who can't?
That's right. Thanks, Santa Claus. I love Phipps. I love my mommy and daddy, but most of all, I love Phipps' Easy Payment Plan. See you on Christmas Eve.
Right this way, little darling. Santa Claus is ready to see you now.
Why, hello there, my dear, and what would you like for Christmas?
Oh, Santa, I don't want very much. Just a good-looking flowered cotton quilted robe with a good wide lap over, and a Monte Carlo game table, and a meat-dyed squirrel cake.
Why, aren't you a fancy little lady?
I'll say I am. Just wait until my school chums get a load of me dripping in fine squirrel fur all the way from exotic Africa.
Yes, sirree, ladies and gentlemen. You'll find everything on your small fry shopping list, and quite a bit more, at Phipps Department Store.
And they have the best prices in town. You take it from me, I ought to know.
Whether it's a gift from Santa or a nifty wedding ring, toilet water for your aunt, a pipe for Dad or Uncle Bing, layaway lingerie, BB guns or Fabergé, Phipps, 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 at 33rd and Park.
Phipps Department Store, the friendly store with famous brands. Open every evening until 9 p.m. through December the 23rd. And now, we return to the final act of the WMHS Playhouse of the Airs production of A Christmas Carol. When last we left Ebenezer Scrooge, he was awaiting the arrival of the third and final spirit as foretold by the ghost of Jacob Marley. Out of the darkness came a solemn phantom, draped and hooded, drifting towards Scrooge like a mist along the ground. Slowly, gravely with an air of gloom and mystery, shrouded in a deep black garment, concealing its head, face, and form, nothing of it visible save one outstretched hand. Its presence filled Scrooge with a solemn dread.
Am I in the presence of a ghost of Christmas yet to come? You are about to show me shadows of the things that have not happened, but will happen in time before us. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you most of all. I know your purpose is to do me good, and I'm prepared to bear your company. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, the night is waiting fast, and it's precious time to me. I know, lead on, Spirit. I know this place, Spirit. This is the exchange. I do business here. I know these men. What do they speak?
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why, what was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
God knows.
What has he done with all his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me. That's all I know. It's likely to be a very cheap funeral, for upon my life, I don't know of anybody to go to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going if a lunch is provided, but I must be fed, or I stay at home.
Well, I am most disinterested. But when I come to think of it, I'm not sure that I was his most particular friend, for we used to stop and speak whenever we met.
Well, Old Scratch got his own at last. Cold, isn't it?
Seasonal for Christmas time. You're not a skater, I suppose?
My wife is a skater, but it's not my fancy.
You must bring your wife around in the new year.
I know she'd like that.
Of whom do they speak, Spirit? Can you not tell me? Why do you not speak, Spirit? Where are we going, Spirit? I shall follow. Lead on. And what on earth is that wretched stench? You not smell that, Spirit? Have you a nose to smell?
Far in this den of infamous resort was a low-browed shop where iron, old rags, bottles, and bones were bought. Its floors scattered with rusty keys, nails, chains, and refuse iron. Secrets that few would like to scrutinize were hidden in mountains of unseemly rags, fat, and bones.
Sitting among his wares was the shop's proprietor, a rascal who went by the name of Old Joe. As Scrooge and the Phantom entered the shop, Old Joe was laughing and transacting business with
A laundress.
A charwoman.
And an undertaker's man.
Let the charwoman be the first.
Let the laundress be the second.
And let the undertaker's man be the third.
Look here, old Joe, here's a chance. If we haven't all three met here without meaning it.
You couldn't have met in a better place. You were made free of it long ago, you know. And the other two ain't strangers. And I'm sure there's no such old bones as mine.
Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
Who's the worst for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, indeed.
If he wanted to keep them after he was dead, a wicked old screw, why wasn't he natural in his lifetime? If he had been, he had had somebody to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying gasping out his last there, alone, by himself.
It's the truest word that ever was spoke.
Open that bundle to old Joe and let me know the value of it. Speak out plain. I'm not afraid to be the first, nor afraid of them to see it.
Let's see your plunder, man. It's not extensive, I must say. A seal or two, a pencil case, a pair of sleeve buttons, and a brooch of no great value.
It's a lot worth closer inspection, certainly.
Certainly not. I'll give you half a crown.
Are you bloody serious?
I wouldn't get another sixpence if I was to be boiled for not doing it. Who's next?
Feast your eyes on my booty, old Joe.
Make with it.
Sheets and towels, a little wearing apparel, 2 old-fashioned silver teaspoons, a pair of sugar tongs, and a few boots.
I always give too much to ladies. It's a weakness of mine, and that's the way I ruin myself. I'll give you 3 crown.
And now I'm doing my bundle, Joe.
What do you call this? Bed curtains?
Ah, yes, bed curtains.
You don't mean to say that you took them down, rings and all, with him lying there?
Yes, I do. Why not?
His blankets?
Who else do you think? He isn't likely to take cold without them, I dare say.
I hope he didn't die of anything catching.
Don't you be afraid of that. And you may look through that shirt till your eyes ache, but you won't find a hole in it. It's the best he had, and a fine one too. Though they've wasted it putting on him to be buried in. To be sure, if it hadn't been for me, somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it off again.
Here's the money, the lot of you.
This is the end of it. You see, he frightened everyone away from when he was alive, to profit us when he was dead.
Spirit, I see the case for this unhappy man might be my own. My life tends that way. Now, merciful heaven, what is this? Spirit, this is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not leave its lessons. Trust me. Let us go. I understand you, and I would do it if I could, but I have not the power, Spirit. I have not the power. If there is any person in town who feels emotion caused by this man's death, show me that person, Spirit, I beseech you. Spirit, why am I brought here again to the house house of my clerk. I see now, it's not the same. It's so very quiet here.
Mother, please. Oh, my son, my little son, Tiny Tim. I loved him so.
Oh, Mother dear, you mustn't. It's almost time for Father to be home. Don't let him see you crying.
Yes, Martha.
He's late tonight.
He walks slower than he used to, and yet I've known him to walk very fast indeed with Tiny Tim on his shoulder.
So have I, Mother.
But he was light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble at all.
Father!
Bob!
Good evening, my dear. I'm sorry to be late. I hope you didn't worry.
You hear, Bob. We're fine.
I went to the churchyard today. I wish you could have gone with me. It would have done your heart good to see how sweet and green of a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him. Yes, I promised Tiny Tim we'd walk there on a Sunday.
Father dear?
It's God's will, Bob.
I'm trying to understand it, my dear. My son. My little son, Tiny Tim. And I loved him so.
Oh, that's cruel, Spirit. Can't you give me one ray of hope that I may change all that? That Tiny Tim may live? Spectre, something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I not know how. Spirit, help me. Who is this man who died? Is there no one to mourn the poor creature? No one to follow him to the grave? Perhaps they'll give him a green grave at least, like poor Tiny Tim. Spirit, where are we now? Merciful heaven, a churchyard overwhelmed with grass and weeds and these godforsaken crumbling gravestones. Spirit, before I draw near to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be, or shadows of the things that may be? Will you not speak to me, Spirit? What is that grave to which you point? What name is upon it? Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh no, Spirit, no. Hear me. I'm not the man I was. Why show me this if I past all hope? Your nature deceives me and pities me. Assure me that I yet may change these shadows and show me that by an altered life. Good Spirit, tell me that I can change these dreadful shadows and show me. I'll honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all year. I'll live in the past, present, and future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on the stone. I beg you, Spirit, I beg you. I promise you, Spirit, I've learned. I beg you.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay.
What? Where? Can it be? Is this not my bedpost? Am I in my own bed? I am my bed curtains. They're not torn down. Here they are, rings and all. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't know anything. I'm quite a baby. Never mind, I don't care. I'd rather be a baby. Heaven and Christmas be praised.
Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day.
Oh, clash, clash, hammer, ding dong, the lusciest peals ever I've heard. Heavenly sky, sweet fresh air, merry bells, oh glorious, glorious. You there? What's today?
What, sir?
What day is it today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day, I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. Do anything, of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
You know the Folkesters on the next street over at the corner?
I should hope I did.
Oh, an intelligent boy. A remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that's hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey. A delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Yes, sir.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go and buy it, will you, and tell them to send it to Bob Cratchit's house and his family in Camden Town. And mind you, and not to know who paid for it. Go along, hurry, my lad, and here's half a crown for your trouble.
Yes, sir. Indeed, I will, sir. Straight away. Merry Christmas to you.
A Merry Christmas to you too, my lad. I've never felt this way. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. A Merry Christmas to everyone. A Happy New Year to all the world. Hello there. Oh, hello.
Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to you too.
Oh, and Merry Christmas to you both.
You too, sir.
My dear woman, how do you do? Didn't you call my office just last evening in regard to that charity?
Why, Mr. Scrooge, is that you?
Yes, that is my name, and I fear it may not be pleasant to you. I hope you succeeded yesterday. It was very kind of you. Allow me to ask your pardon, and will you have the goodness to accept the sum? I prefer to whisper it.
Lord bless me, Mr. Scrooge. Are you serious?
If you please, not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, and I assure you, will you do me that favor?
My dear sir, I don't know what to say to such munificence.
Don't say anything, please. Will you come and see me?
I will indeed.
Thank you, I am much obliged. I thank you 50 times. Bless you, Merry Christmas. Now off to Fred's house.
May I help you, sir?
Is your master at home, my dear?
Yes, sir.
Where is he, my love?
He's in the dining room, sir, along with mistress. I'll show you upstairs if you please.
Thank you, he knows me. I'll go in here, my dear.
Now, just a moment, sir. It's my business to announce those who come calling.
Very well. You may tell Fred that his uncle is here to wish him a very Merry Christmas.
Why, bless my soul. Who's that?
It's I, your Uncle Scrooge. I've come to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Why, Uncle, and a very Merry Christmas to you as well.
Thank you, nephew. I would very much like to accept your kind invitation to join you for dinner.
I'm delighted. You are always welcome here, Uncle.
Thank you, dear Fred. I must make one other stop and I'll return to join you shortly.
We look forward to it.
As do I, nephew, as do I.
Now, children.
Someone's at the door, Mother.
Whoever could that be? I'll answer it.
Is this the Cratchit home?
Yes, it is. Why, whatever have you got there?
It's a delivery.
Look, it's a turkey.
Who would send us such a gift?
I'm not to say it, but it's all paid for and it's for you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I've never seen such a turkey.
Why, it's bigger than me.
That's true.
The Cratchit family prepared their Christmas feast, and the centerpiece was the prize turkey sent to them by an unknown party. As they were just about to say the blessing and partake in the meal, Tiny Tim noticed someone standing outside the window.
Look, who is it?
Let me see.
Well, well, Bob Cratchit. What do you mean by taking today off?
I'm very sorry, Mr. Scrooge. It is only once a year.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend. I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer, and therefore, I am about to raise your salary.
Mr. Scrooge, are you quite yourself, sir?
No, thank heaven I'm not quite myself. Merry Christmas, Bob. Oh, and I intend to help you and your family for many a Christmas to come.
Merry Christmas.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, or town in the good old world.
And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
This has been the WMHS Playhouse of the Air presentation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, featuring Harry Jasbo Haywood,
Sally Applewhite,
Elena Sherwood,
And Mr. Freddie Fillmore.
and the WMHS White Lake Players. The WMHS Playhouse of the Air is brought to you this and every week by the Old London Extra Fancy Fruitcake Company and Phipps Department Store. Please stay tuned for a program of popular holiday music. And from all of us to all of you and yours, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.